Hello and welcome to the newest episode of the Meeples Corner news show. It's another kind of special episode this week because we have another big stack of new games. Like I said last week, if you have a busy week, it makes more sense to just have one episode where I talk about all the new games, and then maybe later in the week I can do a second episode where I talk about new pre-orders and what's coming up in the next week. Yeah, before I go to the new games I received yesterday and this morning, just two quick news. The first news is that yesterday North Star Games released an Oceans app edition. So you can now try out Oceans, the follow-up game to Evolutions, as an app. It's available for iOS and for Android, and the base version is free. They call it Oceans Lite, and you can play the standard game and the tutorial, and you have a small selection of cards available to play, and if you want later add more cards to it, you do it with an in-app purchase. But it's a perfect way to learn the game and see if you like it, and yeah, have a look around and download the app and see if you like it. And if you want to play it with your friends, the physical edition is still available. And the second news is in regards to the Dune Imperium game, the new game from the Clang designers. There was a bit of confusion in regards to the delivery or release date, because originally they planned to release the date around the release of the new Dune movie, but with all the new movies at the moment being delayed and pushed back into next year, it wasn't clear if the board game would come out this year or would also get pushed back. But I checked with the pre-order list from Asmodee, and they're still showing the December release date, and also on the publisher website itself the game is available to pre-order for a December release. So I think they are going ahead with the release of the game before Christmas. So that's good news. And for everyone who's still unsure about it, there is information on Board Game Geek News about the game, so that's a good read. That was the two news I want to quickly talk about, and now we're coming to the new games. We start with the smaller stack. The first new item we've received finally is the Once and Future Kang scenario pack for the Marvel Champions card game. It was available a few weeks ago already, but in such small numbers that you really couldn't sell it. It was just a few copies for pre-order customers, but nothing available on the website. So that's finally out, and also we have a lot of the hero packs back in stock. So if you want to stock up on Marvel Champions before Christmas, now is a good time. Then we have the second set for Reflame A Place. It's building up on the Oriflame card game, which was the French Game of the Year at the beginning of 2020, and it's an interesting small card game. And this one you can use either as a standalone game, so you don't need the first one, or if you have the first one you can use it as an expansion. Then we have from Grail Games, we have Medici, the dice game, another take on the Medici classic board game. They first did the card game and now they've done the dice game, which is by the looks of it a roll and write game, and they are quite popular at the moment, because one of the reasons why I like to play them at the moment, they're fairly easy to do over Zoom. So even if you don't want to use Tabletopia or Tabletop Simulator, you can play a roll and write game with a friend. And also in larger groups, because normally you only need to have the notepad. And then we have the next small game is Jurassic Parts, not Park. It's an area control game where you have to basically claim your part of the area where you're digging for dinosaur bones. Nice artwork, nice theme. small box, so probably a good family game. Then again, a bit like with the Kang expansion, it's Warp's Edge from Renegade. It has been released a few weeks ago, but again in smaller numbers because it was a smaller distributor, and now Asmodee finally has received the stock, so it should be a bit more widely available. It's a solo game. It's part 2 of the Solo Heroes series. You can either play it as a one-off solo game, or you can play a sort of story mode, and then it comes with a choose your own adventure storybook. So that's quite popular when we had it the first time around. Solitaire games are quite nice at the moment, so that's a good one to look at. Then we have a 2-player game from Capstone Games. It's Curious Cargo. Is that the right way around? Yeah. That just came yesterday. And we also have, for each copy, we have a promo which looks like it offers you a few new areas to play in. So that's available, 2-player game, 30 minutes playing time. And we have the last of the 7 Wonders expansion, Leaders, is finally available. So we have all the expansion packs for the new edition of 7 Wonders in stock. And like I mentioned the last time, we still have a few promo cards for 7 Wonders 2nd edition, and with every purchase of a 7 Wonders expansion or the new base game, we will add promo cards to the parcel. And then the next new item is the 8th set of Unlock. This time it's called, let's check, the Mythic Adventures. Again, like with all the Unlock games, it comes with 3 storylines in the box. It's app supported, and the advantage with the Unlock games compared to the Exit game from Cosmos, there is no ripping up of components or taking notes or anything. So you can't, it's possible to play them more than once, and even if you don't want to play them more than once, you can easily hand them on to a friend. Then we have the stack with the big box games. First one is Deep State, the New World Order. Comes together with Deep State, the Global Conspiracy expansion. It's a worker placement card set collection game where you basically play the head of a secret organization who works on building world government, and you want to be the one who's ruling the world government. So lots of conspiracy stuff and secret things going on in this game. Interesting artwork and nice components. The expansion adds quite a few bits to the base game, so that's available now. Then we have Cosmic Colonies. That's from Floodgate Games. They are the publishers of Sacrada. It's a card drafting worker placement game where you're trying to build up a home in the stars. Yeah, it's nice mechanisms connected in the game. So if you want to have a worker placement game in combination with a card game, have a look at it. Then one game I just received from Germany. It's Anno 1800, a Cosmos game designed by Martin Wallace. Unfortunately at the moment only available in the German edition, but English edition comes out, or was planned for next year's UK Games Expo. We have to see how this will work out. But I played this game last Friday in Paul Grogan's live stream. If you want to know more about the game, have a look at the video on YouTube. And we played a copy I ordered from Germany earlier, and there's no problems at all with the language. There's no language on the components, and there's a fairly good English rules translation available on Board Game Geek, and also Paul's video helps to learn the game. And I was surprised by how much I liked the game. It was really good, and I enjoyed it a lot. We played a 2-player game which took us roughly 2 hours, but it was our first game, so there was a lot of explanation going on, and also because it was played remotely, Paul had to do all the components for me, which took a bit longer. So I guess if you play in person with a physical copy, it should go a lot faster, and especially if you play it more than once, it should speed up quite a lot. Put this over here. Then we have a new set of for Iains End outcasts, another expansion for Iains End, the deck building game where you never shuffle your discard pile. You basically set up the order of your cards and they come back in the order you programmed them, which is a nice twist on the usual deck building game mechanism. Yeah, this is another set. Like with all the Iains End big box expansions, you can use it as a standalone or you can add it to your existing copy. And the last game we have received is Nevada City from Rio Grande Games. You basically the head of a family setting up a homestead in Nevada City. It's a worker placement game where you can play or you control the different members of your family, and you have different resources you're trying to set up to give your family a good future in Nevada City, and in the end the aim is to become the mayor of the new built city. So nice big box game, just arrived yesterday, so if you're interested in these kinds of games, have a look. And then one thing I forgot to mention last week, we have folded space inserts, and once in a while I receive emails or messages asking about specific folded space inserts we have in stock. So just a quick heads up, because we received a few new ones last week. The first one is the insert for Maracaibo. That's a smaller one. I think the price is £15 for this one. And we have the insert for Root, a very popular game. And it also, it's not just for the base game, it also gives you enough space to include the components for River, Folk, Underworld, and the Exiles and Partisan decks. It's also the Vagabond pack and the Clearing markers. So the first two big box expansions and the smaller expansion they relieved, they can all fit in here. And then the last new insert we have received is the Gloomhaven Jaws of the Lion insert, which should make playing the game a lot easier. So these three are available. We usually have access to all the folded space inserts, so if there's a specific one you're looking for, just send me a message and I can see if they are available at our supplier, and if they are available we usually have them here within a few days. But we also have a few always in stock, so just have a look on the website. Yeah, that's all for today. The last news in regards to the shop, like all the retail shops in the UK, we can open up again next Wednesday. So if you are local, just have a look around. Wednesday is perfect, because by Wednesday we should also have our new stock already here. So if you want to have a look around, just come by and say hello. And that's all for this week, and see you soon. Bye!